my purpose is to help people. I love helping people. It's generally around, helping them with a business or whatever, but I love helping people. And again, I think the casual collisions that I have, it's the core is always about helping people. Welcome to the Merseyway Innovation Centre podcast, where we explore the power of unexpected encounters and spontaneous connections. Join us on our journey as we delve into the world of casual collisions, those chance encounters and unexpected conversations that have the power to redirect our paths and shape our destinies. Get ready to explore how a single moment can change everything.
Oh, hello and welcome to another edition of Casual Collisions here from the Merseyway Innovation Centre. My name is Rob Cates, and here with me today, my special guest is Naomi Timperley. Hello, Naomi.
Hello.
Thank you very much for coming down.
It's a pleasure.
You were here anyway, to be honest.
Yeah.
You're working here today,
Yeah.
but we'll find out more about that in a moment. Great to see you, Naomi. Naomi is actually our Innovation Director here at the Innovation Centre, and everybody knows Naomi. And if you don't know Naomi, you know her now. Right, so you're
Hello.
friends, yeah. So the name of our podcast is Casual Collisions. The subjects we always talk about is when have you met someone or had a casual collision, an unplanned meeting that's led to something that's changed, well, not changed everything, and we're not going to get that dramatic, but maybe we will. But yeah, something where it's kind of led you down a different path, or maybe you got married. Maybe you met. Maybe
I've actually got quite a lot of examples. The one that springs to mind is actually the casual collision that I had in Bulgaria with my husband, who's now my husband. I was working overseas as a holiday rep.
Is this going to get racy?
And no, unfortunately not.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was actually a bit racy. We did break the bed, but that's another thing. Cut that bit out. But yeah, I met my husband when I was working overseas, and it turned out that we had mutual friends, and I was on my bike going in between hotels and just saw him, and he took my breath away, and apparently I took his breath away, and we sort of I was seeing somebody else at the time, and I think he was, and then we got together about 2 years later, been married for 25 years next February, so quite a long time.
Oh, brilliant.
But that was a very good casual collision. I would say work-wise and business-wise, my sort of entrepreneurial career, so to speak, has been pretty much based on casual collisions.
My next question was going to be, how much does it play a part in your work life? I think it's everything in it.
Massively, yeah. So I've got... I'm part of a founders group on WhatsApp, which we've got about 66 people in it, and we've all met through casual collisions and through, it's weird though, because it's all sort of stemmed initially from 3 core people, and the group's grown and grown every time we sort of meet people that are like-minded, that work for themselves, and we support each other, and it's grown to those 66 people now. But what's really lovely is that those people are working together as well. And I remember doing a programme actually, I did a programme for In4 at Media City in 2021, which was called Freelance Her, and it was delivered during COVID, the second lockdown, and we had 114 women on the programme. So delivering a programme online is actually quite difficult, but we made it work. It included peer-to-peer mentoring. So we had 114 women. We ended up with 100, and I think the dropout rate was really low, so maybe 109 after 3 months. And what was really brilliant about that, again, when those people actually physically met, the relationships that they'd built, even though it was online, these people had never sort of met each other before they started the programme, and really built relationships up. And actually a lot of those women I'm still in touch with now. Like we've had a couple of the women have been here. So Kaylee Wilson, who does the menopause workshop, she came from Freelance Her. Again, I've worked with other people that I've met through the programme, but they've worked with each other. I set up a business in 2007 through. Now, this wasn't in person, but this was an online casual collision. I came across a business which I just thought sounded brilliant and wanted to bring it to Manchester. So I just emailed them, told them a bit about myself, and I'd never thought about working for myself before, but that sort of came to fruition. And within 2 years, we built that up to doing events in 9 cities across the UK. And every time we went to a new city, we would build communities. But what was really interesting, even through that, I'm still in touch with some of those people, and those people that I've met from that time have led me on to do things that I've sort of subsequently done, again through having the right conversations and meeting the right people. There's a saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know, and I do believe in that, but I think it's also, I'm very much of the thought of, when I meet people, I love finding out what they do. I'm genuinely interested, but it's always about how I can help them rather than asking for something. And it comes back tenfold because we basically have loads of favours.
Well, you're seen as in most rooms, you're seen as the person that can connect people and can help. So you're naturally attractive to people because people want to come near you. That's what happens.
Yeah, and I actually love doing that. I love having conversations with people, but also I'm quite very well versed at retaining random bits of information about loads of things. There's a really good book actually called, I think it's called Range, and I was talking about it with a friend yesterday. It's about being a generalist. So it's about somebody who knows a little bit about lots of different things rather than being an expert in one. And actually, when you're working with businesses, that's what they want. They want somebody, obviously, yes, they might have an accountant or a lawyer, but they want somebody, especially if they're looking to grow, who's got lots of different bits of experience.
Okay, that connects then.
Yeah.
It's the connection that's the strength in that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And you know, certainly with the work that we do, that I do here, as Innovation Director, it's my job to support the businesses in Merseyway Innovation Centre to start, grow and innovate. And I do that. I'm able and enabled to do that through the connections that I've got, who have been mostly through casual collisions.
And what do you think is the most, because you've given me 3 examples there of where you said you met your husband, it was a face-to-face. There was the online one with the ladies, and then there was an online kind of email thing where you started with
the business,
with the business. What's the common characteristics between them 3 things? I'll throw one in the mix. I think it's that you got off your backside and was doing something.
Yeah. And
what else is there that's common between those 3 things that make casual collisions happen? Because they don't just happen, do they?
No, they don't. I think it's about having common ground with people. I'm very sort of values driven. So I'll give you another example, and this came from Twitter actually, which is now called X. I don't like that. I set up a business in 2011 called Enterprise Lab, to bridge the gap between education, employment and enterprise, and a lot of that was around entrepreneurial thinking and ideation. And I set that up with 2 guys that I met on Twitter, and we started talking, and we found that we had lots of things in common. We had interests around supporting young people with ideas. I started doing a few things in schools. I'd also started working with women in business, etc. So that casual collision happened on Twitter, and I do believe that those collisions can happen in that online space, but also in person.
I watched a brilliant video once, and it was a social experiment where they did it in the street. They had a ball pool, and you jumped in the ball pool with somebody random, 2 people just random, and then you had to find your common with that person. You couldn't leave the ball pool until you found your common. We should probably do it here.
Do you know what I believe? Because I actually teach people how to network and make good connections. I believe that you can find common ground with absolutely anybody, but that's about having the confidence to ask questions and be inquisitive, and that is a skill.
Want to find out
and actually care.
Is that so? That so 2 things you've said there about when you events, and I've seen you do it. You go to events and you go with the mindset of how can I help someone today?
Yeah.
And the other thing you've just said there, which is trying to be inquisitive and try and find out about people. What other things do you put in place when you go to events to make you that person that's that connector, and that you then do have Casual Collisions and a portfolio of people like you've got that you can just dig into?
So there's a couple of things. Most people may have the assumption that I absolutely love going to networking events. I don't.
No one does.
I find them really quite painful.
Yeah.
I like going with at least I know one person in the room. But what I don't do is I don't work the room. And when I say that, I'm not there like, doing that with my business cards and throwing them in people's faces and talking about myself. I think you have to go with the mindset where you are genuinely interested in what other people do. And if you go with that mindset, they are quite happy to introduce you to their network. And especially going back to what I said before about helping people, yes, of course, if you go to a networking or a business type event, you do want the opportunity to talk about yourself, as in what you do as a business. But that key thing is, find out. People love talking about themselves.
Yeah.
Find out. You will have on occasion some people that do too much talking. So you've got there's strategies about how to sort of remove yourself from that. Yeah. But I think in the sort of general, it's people like talking about themselves. You can find out as much information as you can. I'm genuinely interested in other people's stories, how they got from A to B to C. And you can actually find out a lot of information very quickly. And then in your head, while you're having that conversation, you find that common ground. It's not difficult.
Or that common person, which you're really good at. Like, oh, do you know so-and-so?
Yeah.
Oh, right, you should meet so-and-so if you don't know them.
Yep. I did a workshop this morning, one with a tenant that we have here and one with somebody who works around the corner who came along to the workshop. And, we had quite a few common connections, but also common businesses that we'd worked with, but also me being able to say, I think you should speak to this person. So they each left with about 4 people's names, because I know it's going to be mutually beneficial for them to have a conversation with the people that I'm telling them to have a conversation with.
The start of this, you talked about the WhatsApp group you started, and you said there were 3 core people on there.
Yeah.
That it started with that were that.
Well, it was three core people that started it. So it was myself, a guy called Andy Armand, who's got a recruitment company called Langham. And then the other person was somebody that I used to mentor called Ruby Melling, who has an agency called Talent Loop, which supports businesses to build teams and look at employee and employer branding and things like that. We set it up initially. Interestingly, Andy barely even looks at it. And Ruby posts occasionally, so I'm sort of the main catalyst.
It just does itself.
Yeah, and what's really nice is that we've even got some of the Merseyway people. So I've built relationships up with some of the businesses here who are in that group because they're founders. It's called the Founders Group. We have get-togethers. We support each other. We learn from each other. If people, there's an unwritten rule: don't be a dick, don't be an arsehole. If you are, you're gone. But generally, it's a space where we support each other, and a lot of that has come through Casual Collisions.
So those 3 people, though, so I'm thinking the people watching this might be thinking, how do I get alongside, not those particular 3, one of them's you. There's an easy way of doing that, just come in here. But how they're useful people because, like yourself, they are connectors and they have a strength of character and people have a trust in them that it generates people and attracts people. Yeah. What advice would you give to people to find those people? What you're looking for characteristics wise in those people? Okay,
so I think it's really important to understand what your values are as a human being. Trust, loyalty, kindness are my 3 core pillars. But what I would say is that's what I seek in other people. Not everyone's like me. Not everyone's like you. We're all very different. But it's about finding at least common ground with those 3 core things and actually having a group of people where you will share and where you will support each other. And that's really, really important. That's how that group is built.
Yeah,
and it's invitation only. We're not selling anything to each other. It's purely a group that has grown because we support each other.
And what are those three things you said again? Trust,
Trust,
kindness,
loyalty,
and
kindness.
Yep. Okay. No, that's good. No, it's good because they're easy things to look for.
Yeah,
Actually,
they are, and it's just. I suppose it's like, I've worked with a lot of businesses about it's very that early stages. What's your mission? What's your vision? What are your values? And what's your purpose? My purpose is to help people. I love helping people. It's generally around, helping them with a business or whatever. But I love helping people. And again, I think the casual collisions that I have, it's the core is always about helping people.
tell us a little bit, just to finish off, about, well, we've heard about your job role here, but more specifics that you do and a couple of success stories and
Okay, so
in here.
Yeah, I've got a couple of really good examples. So we've got some really brilliant businesses in the centre. So, just to give you a couple of examples. So I work, when I'm not working here, I'm a freelance growth and innovation consultant. So I'm tapped into a lot of the greater Manchester ecosystem, but the northern tech ecosystem nationally and internationally as well. And which makes it really sort of useful to, I tend to have worked with a lot of tech, digital and creative businesses, but I've worked with manufacturers, I've worked with consultants, I've worked with any type of business that you can imagine. And because I have this sort of depth of knowledge outside, I can bring that in when I come for this one day. And it gives the businesses that we've got here really rich experience. So just for example, EKM Automations, they, as part of my sessions with them, they had an idea for a new piece of technology which included hardware and software. I got the idea out of their head, was then able to introduce them to the Turing Innovation Catalyst, who were then able to support them with research and development of a minimum viable product, which they could then go and test with their customers. We've had businesses here that have been part of accelerators through the network that we've introduced them to. I've got people within the centre that have worked with each other. So we've got a photographer here. And I have a friend called Stephen Senior, who has a business called Dote, which is a pram business, which is hardware and technology that enables it. And as part of that technology, they've got AI within a camera that monitors babies. And I introduced them to Alicia, who's a photographer that we have here, who does loads of baby photography. So basically, she had a network of people that would like free pictures. She got paid, families got free pictures, and then these people were able to do their research. So again, it's just, but it's all through network
and connection.
Yeah,
it's a real win, that one. I remember
definitely.
when that happened, it was like, oh my goodness, that's exactly what this centre should be doing.
And it is. And do you know what's really lovely is that there are conversations. I had a conversation on Friday. So we do once a week. We have Stockport Council organise something, and they have the Business Growth Hub. They have GM Libraries, myself. And we have people coming in.
And the college coming in.
Yeah, and the college come in. And there was a guy called Jason Peters. And they was like, I recognise his name, but I couldn't put two and two. He's actually in this group that I've got.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So do you know what? I had a brilliant conversation with him. Spent an hour with him. He's just gone freelance with two other guys who were in the transition of sort of going into the business that they've set up. And I gave him a bunch of advice, and I said, look, if this is what I was in your shoes, this is what I would do. You need to get your messaging right, especially because he's going to an international conference this week, so he's going to be having lots of sales conversations. I said, get your messaging right on your website. Gave him a load of ideas. Literally, he sent me an email at the weekend with the things that he'd changed. He said, already it looks better. So taking on the advice. But again, it's so weird because he's actually in this group that I've got.
Yeah. This is the thing. And actually, when I'm trying to explain to people what you do and what we offer here, the best way of explaining it is it's like a board that you can throw something against. They sit down and they say, this is what I do, this is where I want to get to. And then you ask them loads of questions, and they come out and go. Normally, the first meeting, they look like they've been in a windstorm. But actually, it's one of those where it's almost like shaking the tree, see what comes off, and go right. This is what you need to fix now. Yeah. Let's go at it.
And you know what? I can't help everybody, but if I can't help people, I will know people that can help them. Yeah. You know, I'm connected into such a big ecosystem in Greater Manchester and beyond. There is always somebody that I know can help them if I can't.
And if you want to find out more about that help, you can come down to our centre, just come and visit us, or visit innovatestockport.co.uk. Even message us on this wherever you're watching this, and come down. But thank you very much, Naomi, for coming in today and chatting to us. Cheers.
Thank you for joining us. We hope this discussion has ignited a spark within you, an urge to finally have the conversation that you've been putting off, or perhaps the courage to reach out to someone new and explore where that connection may lead. Remember, it's through these connections that collaboration thrives. So don't hesitate to take the first step towards connection. Together, we can forge new paths and unlock endless possibilities.